Welcome back to Pinto Consulting's video lessons. In our last lesson, we learned how to work the text HTML pad on your page. In this lesson, you'll learn about all of the different modules other than TextPad, how to insert them, how to delete them, and how to add a link. Now if you look at the page, you've already got your text HTML pad there in the center. You've also got this little box down here called Scripter. Now that's one that's not really visible to your customers. If you click on View and you scroll down, you'll see that that just vanishes. We're going to show you why. So go ahead and go into Edit, and we are going to add a module. That's something that you'll find in the very center of your control panel. Click on the module, and we're going to scroll down to the very bottom. We're going to attach a text module, and we're going to attach it into the left pane. If you click on the drop-down menu, you'll see that you can put it into a top pane, the content pane where you already have something, the left or right pane, or into the bottom pane. For our example, we're going to go into the left pane. You can insert it toward the bottom or the top. Suppose that you have 2 or 3 different modules in there. You can decide where you'd like it to be. You can align it left, center, right. Now click on Add, and you'll have a little text pad right here. Now we're going to show you a few things about this. The very first thing that we're going to show you is about the settings for that module. Click on View, and you'll see that this text pad looks differently than this one. You've got this little purple top. Remember when we make the container, that's what the container title is. You've also got a little print button down here. Now suppose that you have a coupon, maybe you want your customer to be able to print out. If that's the case, then you would want to leave that print button. If not, it kind of looks a little bit silly. You don't really want your customers to be able to see that. So go into Edit mode. With this title, you can deal with this one of 2 ways. Either you want to change the text itself from text HTML, maybe you want to call that link, and then click on Save. Now at least it will say link instead of text HTML. Or you can go into this arrow and you can go into Settings, and you can make that container outside disappear altogether. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we did with the other one. You want to go into your page settings, and you can decide the alignment. The visibility of the container is something that if you look at the top of it, it will have the little line in the center that allows your customer to minimize or maximize that module. We really don't want them to do either. So we want to click on None. Display container is defaulted to checked. If you decide that you don't want them to see that little title, uncheck that and they won't be able to see the container. They'll still be able to see the text inside of it. And for this particular module, we don't want them to print it. So you will want to unclick that. At the top of this settings page, you'll see some permissions. Permissions mean you want certain people to be able to see the module and not others. You want everybody to be able to see the module. If you leave it at Inherent View Permissions from Page, that means that whatever settings you have for that page are going to be the settings for this module. But you remember when we showed you that there's a module at the very bottom of this page that nobody can see. Only you, the admin, can see it. That's because somebody has unchecked the Inherent View Permissions and left it at Administrators can view and edit the module and nobody else. For this module, we're just creating a text pad, so we want everybody to be able to see it. Click All Users, down to the bottom to update. Now, if we click on View Mode, that text pad will look completely different. Let's go back into Edit, and we're going to edit the text inside of there. And we're going to edit it in such a way that it will be a link to a different page on your site. Click Edit Text, and we want to type in click here to learn more about us. And we want that to be something that kind of pops out to the customer. We want it to be maybe a little bit bigger than it already is. Down to the bottom, and update. Now that text looks a little bit better. Now we're going to insert a link on that text. So you want to highlight the text that you would actually like linked, and you're going to go find this little button that looks like a piece of chain and insert or edit link. Rather than just type in the link, maybe you want it to link to an outside page or somebody else's website. If that's the case, you would type in the URL here. For this particular link, we want it to link to a page on our own site. So we'll click Browse Server, click Page, and we want it to link to About Us. Scroll back down, click on Use Selected Link, and OK. And then always update everything. Now if you look at that page, it'll say click here to learn more about us, but if you roll over the top of it, it's obviously a link now to another page. And there you go. That's how we add a module. Deleting it is even easier. Just go into the little arrow and you can delete it right there. You can move it to a different page or a different pane. Maybe we want it to go live in the right pane now instead of the left pane. It's just that easy. Very, very easy for you to work in. And we hope we have you back for the next lesson.